Hey everyone, Ian here. Today I'm going to talk about what it means to be a coach at robotics tournaments. Stay tuned. I want to start off this video by talking about who is a coach. While ideally a coach is a student, a coach can be any registered mentor. And like drivers, they can be swapped out between each match. Now that we know who can be a coach, let's discuss what a coach should do. The first thing a coach should do is know the rules 100% of the time. As soon as they release the rulebook part 1 and 2, you should read them and reread them to make sure that you know every rule. And then be checking the forums daily to make sure that there are new rule clarifications, changes, or even new rules, because when the match starts, you're going to need to know every rule. After you've passed inspections in the tournament and before the opening ceremonies, there's going to be a driver's meeting. And because there are a few gray areas in the rules, some refs may interpret them differently than other refs, and it's always helpful to know what the calls are going to be like. During the driver's meeting, usually towards the end, they're going to show you where the question boxes are going to be. And it's important to know where they're going to be because if you don't stand to them, nobody's going to know you're asking a question. At the tournament, once you get your match list, you should talk to each team you're going to be aligned with throughout the day. And this way you can know information about their robot and what they can do, as well as share information about your robot and what you can do. And then this way, when the match starts, you all know the strategy and plan so you can work in unison. During the match, you should be looking at both your robot and all the other robots on the field. And if you see a rule violation, be sure to raise your hand and make an FTA or referee aware. This way you don't have to worry about it after the match is over. Another thing to keep in mind is that the driver should be focusing on the robot. And so you should always be focusing on the time as well as everything else. This way you can give updates to the drivers every 10 seconds so they know when endgame is about to come up. That way they're not completely thrown off by the sound of the alarm. After the match is over, don't be afraid to ask a question to the referee. But in order to do this, you're going to need to go to the question box. The question box will be shown to you in the driver's meeting, which we talked about earlier. It's usually a taped off section. And if you don't go there, nobody's going to know that you want to ask a question. So be sure to know where those are. So that's the role of a coach. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. See you at the matches.